As the Motel 6 emergency shelter back and forth continues between the owner and Monroe County, tonight a nonprofit that places folks in crisis in accommodations is saying the Department of Human Services needs to be dismantled. Too many people, she says, are falling through the cracks. Christian Garzone has been following this story for us and joins us now in studio with more. Christian.
The director of social services at a nonprofit said DHS isn't much for communication. She also said DHS should be replaced with something that can handle the high number of people in crisis.
Krystal Schulik is the social services director of the Community Resource Collaborative. She said the demand for folks across Monroe County in need of emergency shelter is staggering.
So a lot of the times they're fleeing violence, domestic violence, gun violence, gang-affiliated violence.
Those folks looking for a space for protection and hopefully a fresh start. But she says the shelter process with DHS isn't as smooth as it could be.
Because there's so many barriers around it. So you only get 5 days, you only get a week.
And where they are oftentimes placed, Schulik says it's subpar.
Holes in the walls, bugs on the floor, mold visible, no heat, no air conditioning. It's inhumane.
Schulik says with DHS being the primary driver to house those in need, they need to do some housekeeping.
I believe a dismantling of the entire program would be beneficial.
Bisma Khan, the owner of Motel 6 in Gates, is caught now in a back and forth with DHS. Citing unsanitary conditions, the county moved 50-plus families out of here, claims she disputes.
It's like tit for tat, but I'm not the problem. I'm just trying to help.
The county said Khan asked that families be removed. Khan said only a limited number, and that was for renovation, she said. Now, Khan said DHS has not been responsive since families have been getting moved out.
Because of that lack of communication, there's so much confusion on my end.
Schulik says waiting on DHS is a full-time job, and while waiting,
we also have women, children, and men that are directly affected by violence waiting in the streets.
Now, Schulik did say if DHS was dismantled, community groups should be allowed to take more charge and figure out the needs of those facing a housing emergency. Adam, right back to you.
Christian, thank you. For all of our continuing coverage on DHS and Motel 6 in Gates, head to rochesterfirst.com.